Well, sometimes when you're trying to do your chores, things don't work out right. I was just trying to dump the trailer with the shavings in it from cleaning the chicken coop. And then I got this drainage here. It runs right down along here. So every once in a while I'll drop a tire in that and see how well the water's running right there. Drop a tire in that and the water will run better and go over there and drain off. Well, I guess doing it with the trailer on there, and the elk have been going back and forth through that area a lot lately, so it just churned it up more than it normally is. Normally I can ride through there without a problem, and then I get over there, which is a little bit drier and right down along the edge, and then back there where the trees are down, and then I can right back there, and then there's a spot I got back there I can dump the material. So I had to go up to the shop, grab the general, and I've got the yankum ropes in there, but instead of getting someone else out here with me, the winch cable just reached, so I will just fire that thing up probably, and just kind of run the winch in and put it in reverse at the same time and back it out of here. So let's see how that works. Not really going to be able to hold the whoo. Now see that? I'd never sink that deep out here. Wow, that is almost completely up to... Yeah, that's just... Give me my boot. Give me my boot. That's just from the elk going back and forth. They got a path right there they're going up, and right there. And they're coming right through here. And just mushing this stuff up, making the mud pit. So I will fire this thing up, put it in reverse, and then try to back up and suck in on the winch at the same time and see if I can back out of here. And then I'll go get rid of it. It wasn't even the full load. But anyway, here we go. We're going to try it. My other foot's stuck. There we go. Okay, here we go. Alright, so that's pulling it out of the ditch. It'll actually back up right now, but then it can't really turn, so it's easier to just pull it. Ooh, there's another spot. Water's... That wasn't ever like that. So once it got going, I only had to move it about 6 feet, and then it kind of wanted to drive on its own, but with the trailer on it. And since I already have the winch out, I'm gonna have to go pull that winch out somewhere and rewrap it. So what I usually do is, like, I'll show you, I'll take it over to the hillside and I'll hook it on a tree. I'll run the line out, and then I wind it up and make sure it's wrapped correctly as it's going across and got some tension on it. So now I will unhook that, and then I'll figure out what I'm gonna do with this. And I think I might just leave the general right there. I'll probably just go ahead and take this and go put it in my burn pile. And I guess I'll go ahead and start the fire today. And then I'm going to come back with just the four-wheeler and see if with a little momentum, if I can go down here and fix that. Because now I got a big dam right there where the thing was stuck. Did I say without the four-wheeler? Without the trailer. And see if it'll go ahead and go on through there and get that water flowing correctly. As you can see right there that the water's flowing nice, and then it goes up and it kind of just gets dammed and spreads out and just floods the field more. I want the field to be able to drain. Otherwise it'll be August before you can mow, which it probably will be anyway with the way they're turning this all up, getting it all sopping wet. All right, here we go. Okay, well, that worked, except I got mud all over it, and I got mud all over me. But I'll show you what I did. So the water's flowing really fast now, as you can see. And I left the general there in case I got stuck. So then I'll back that up, turn that around, and I'll come and cross right here in this deep spot so I don't mess up my waterway. At some point, I'll grade that so that I can use my bridge, but that won't work up there. That used to be down here, but there was really high waters one year and it floated away, so I put it in a different spot. Anyway, see how that water is just hauling butt down there, and it's kind of built a dam on the one side so that the water doesn't run into the field. And then just every once in a while, where is that? There's stuff like this that'll come out here and just kind of clear to keep that flowing. So the bad thing about doing it with the four-wheeler is I've got two ruts going out there now. A lot of times I do it with the TW, but I don't think that will worked real well this time. I already had the mess. So the bad thing is it splashed mud up over here, so this area isn't going to drain over this way very well, but it didn't really drain very well anyway. This water coming down here and going out that way is really helping this part of the yard. So it's flowing. It looked a little neater before I went through there. Okay, so now I'll run that winch in enough or tie it around the front bumper, and then I'll take this thing up and show you what I do with rewinding that winch, and then we'll be done with this video. And we got some stinky elk crap on the side of the machine. All right, here we go. Okay, so we've got the winch hooked to the tree. I just got some soft shackles around it instead of my tree saver. And then I'm just pulling the machine up the hill. Let's see if I can back the camera out a little bit. There you can kind of see it is an uphill. So I'm putting a little bit of load on it and winding it, and then just trying to watch it going back and forth. The thing that kind of sucks on these generals is it's hard to see the winch in there. You gotta literally put your head down there in harm's way to see it. But I just use the wireless, and then I'll lean on the cable with my leg, kind of push it side to side, and you'll see when it's winding right, it starts going across like it just switched. And then it'll start doing it on its own. If they're wound right, it'll wind on there on its own. And if you let the thing get all balled up, then it'll never wind right, because it'll wind up getting pinched. Yeah, you can't see in there, and it's not as nice as I'd like right now either. Another thing you can do is when you're running it in, like if I had somebody else helping me, I could be turning the wheels on the machine and have it driving back and forth as I'm winding it in. That's another way. You grab the cable with your hand and pull it whichever way you need to get it to wind right. Little things like that. So that's what I was going to show you on that. It's how to wind the winch properly. You want them laying in there, laying nice and tight across the bottom, and then it should you know, they should all be touching. You get to the end, then they start coming back. And if you lay them in there like that, you'll get a memory and they'll stay like that. All right, then we're going to finish rolling this up. Okay, so now I've got to hose the mud and the stinky elk crap off of it so it doesn't stink up my shop. Got to hose off the mud up from underneath that. This is the key. I did a video a long time ago about going to the dunes versus playing in the mud. So here's what it looks like if you just drive through the field. Well, people think that mud isn't as bad as sand, and then there's people that think sand isn't as bad as mud. Well, it all kind of gets in there. This stuff's wrapped around the wheel and everything. So I got it parked on that. And I went ahead and drove through that part of my field too to get that drained, since I already had it nasty. But now I gotta hose it all down. Water was all the way up to here, going through there. So I'll let the engine cool down a little bit before I hose down the engine, but I can hose on the suspension and that stuff there. You gotta pull out my hand. That's a pain in the butt. But anyway, that's what I gotta do now. Clean up. Good times. All right, so I'll get this all cleaned up, and I just thought I'd share. Sometimes you get stuck in your own yard. You never know. Always good to be prepared. First thing I looked for was my Yankum ropes. And I realized that I did not have the Yankum rope hanging off of the back of this, like I've said in other videos. And I don't know where it is. I do have the Yankum rope in the General still, and the one in my truck still. I know where those are, but I don't know where that one is. So buy your rope, put it where you're going to always know where it is, or even better, get one for every one of your vehicles, four-wheelers, trucks, side-by-sides, everything. And then you got it covered, because you never take them out of there. All right, we'll catch you on the next one. Bye.